Hello and welcome to our Enterprise Manager 13C series. This series has been created in order to cover the base functionality and all the foundations of Enterprise Manager 13C. We're going to cover Enterprise Manager 13.5, and during this specific session, we're going to cover the installation of Oracle Enterprise Manager. A little bit about me. My name is Alfredo Krieg. I'm an Oracle Enterprise Manager Specialist here in the North America Technology Division. I have a blog where I'm going to post information about the series, and also I have a Twitter handle. Let's start with a quick overview of Oracle Enterprise Manager. Remember that Oracle Enterprise Manager is our management product line. It can manage and monitor from applications to disks, starting from package applications, web servers, middleware, the Oracle database, and the hardware where these database and applications run. It provides a single pane of glass for hardware and software management across cloud and on-premises targets. It has a centralized control of integrated diagnostics, tuning, and lifecycle activities, provides fleet-wide automation across Oracle Cloud and on-premises assets, and also help us monitor and manage services on hybrid cloud setup. Specific for the Oracle database, it helps us with enterprise monitoring. We have management packs for diagnostics and tuning, real application testing, lifecycle management, and private cloud management. What I'm going to show you here is the architecture between Enterprise Manager 13.4 and Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.5 and highlight the differences. First of all, if we read this diagram from bottom to the top, we start with the Oracle Database Management Repository. This is an Oracle database that is going to store all the configuration of Oracle Enterprise Manager, all the data that is being collected from the targets, so we can later on use this data for reporting, alerting, you name it. On top of the Oracle database is where we have the Oracle Management Service. The Oracle Management Service contains all the code for Oracle Enterprise Manager, all the REST APIs, EMCLI commands, the Oracle Cloud Control Console, all the plugins, the JVMD engine, and in Enterprise Manager 13.4, it also contains VI Publisher, okay? We can have a load balancer. On top of that, we can have as many Oracle Management Services as we need in order to have high availability. And then we have the Oracle Management Agents, which are the ones that we're going to be deploying on our targets. The Oracle Management Agent is the one responsible of gathering the data from the targets that we're going to monitor and manage. Once again, just to summarize, for the Oracle Management Service, we have plugins, we have the Oracle Management Service, we have BI Publisher, this is on 13.4, and the JVMD engine. We have the Oracle Management Agent and plugins. Keep in mind that the best practice and the recommendation is that the plugins you have on the OMS and the plugins that you have on the management agent must be on the same version. But what is the difference between 13.5 and 13.4? Again, we have the same Oracle Database Management Repository. We have the Oracle Management Service. We have plugins and JVMD engine. We don't have VI Publisher embedded inside the Oracle Management Service. You will have to install and standalone Oracle Analytics Server in order to host your VI Publisher reports and engine. We have the load balancer, we have the Cloud Control Console that is being served by the Oracle Management Service, and then we have the Oracle Management Agents that we're deploying on our targets, and the plugins that are part of that specific management agent installation. But how do I install Oracle Enterprise Manager? First of all, this is what my recommendation is. go to the Oracle Enterprise Manager Cloud Control documentation for that specific version. In this case, it's 13.5, and this is the one that we're going to be installing today. When you go to get started with Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 13.5, there is a big section over here on the right side that states plan your installation. You need to start with all the hardware requirements, also the software requirements, packages, kernel parameters, library requirements, and so. You will have to also create groups and users like the Oracle user, all the groups like DBA or install, you name it. Then you will need to size your deployment. This is very important. This is critical for the Oracle Enterprise Manager installation. You will have to gather some data depending on the amount of targets that you want to manage using Enterprise Manager. Based on that, we will provide recommendations, and I have that information in the next slide or so. There is also a blog post over here in the Oracle blog about the Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.5 app on Oracle Cloud Marketplace. So if you're planning to install Oracle Enterprise Manager, you're having hardware constraints internally, you can always use OCI to host Oracle Enterprise Manager and monitor your on-premises targets. That is totally possible. So you can have an account there and just pay for what you're using basically. Using Marketplace, you can create and set up an Oracle Enterprise Manager environment in around 60 minutes. So it's very straightforward. Now, if we go on the left side and we click on installation and upgrade, you see that we have just a complete section that covers the installation of Oracle Enterprise Manager. There's a section for known installation issues, how to download Enterprise Manager, all the basic installation along with best practices, how you set up the standalone Oracle Analytics server that we mentioned if you want to host your BI Publisher reports, the advanced installation options, best practices. And also there is a cool video and this very useful video about installation highlights. So I strongly recommend that you go through all this information before attempting your Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.5 installation. One thing that I mentioned about sizing, and again, this is critical for your installation. This is just starts with this, even before you attempt to download the software. How big your environment is going to be. So as you can see on the table, depending on the number of agents, targets, and concurrent users, you will have to size your installation. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to use the evaluation one. But again, if you're planning to have, let's say, 1,500 agents, then your installation will fall under the large size of Enterprise Manager. So you will have to plan for that. And then later on, if you keep scrolling down on that, you will find the hardware requirements for large, the software requirements for large, and it's going to help you size correctly your Oracle Enterprise Manager installation. Now that we sized and we decide where we're going to have two OMSs, we're going to have a real application cluster database for the repository and so, and again, all those decisions are made using the sizing guide, okay? It's time for us to download the software. So if I click on that link from the documentation on that download software, it's going to take me to this. And I have several options, right? So I can download for Linux, Windows, Solaris, AIX. So I'm going to click on Linux 64-bit. It's going to take me to this page where I have these files over here. We have 5 files that we need to download. And then I'm going to stage these files into the server where I'm planning to install Oracle Enterprise Manager. One thing that I want to mention, we have a lot of labs ready for you related to Oracle Enterprise Manager. So please go ahead and search for Oracle Live Labs using your web browser. Click on that And on the top search bar of Live Labs, you can type the keyword EM, stands for Enterprise Manager, and you will find out how many Enterprise Manager labs we have available for you, starting from the foundations and basics of Enterprise Manager. We have the grand tour of Enterprise Manager, patching databases, managing databases, performance management, and so everything's there ready for you. But now let's jump into a quick demo where I'm going to show you step by step how I install Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.5. All right, so I have my demo environment here. What I did was to stage those 5 files that I downloaded from the download page. I staged them here inside my server. And the next step was to basically grant execute permissions to this first file, the .bin file, and execute that file. So here I'm executing the file, and it's gonna launch my Oracle install. This is the Oracle install. When the Oracle install wizard it's available for me, I will have several steps that I need to follow. The first one is to choose what do I want to do with the installation. We have 3 options. The first one is a simple install. I have advanced install where I can provide additional inputs. I also have the ability to only install the software with plugins and then later on configure the installation. For the purposes of this demo, I will continue with a simple install. And again, this is an evaluation option using the sizing guide. It's just a very small installation just to show you how to install Enterprise Manager. Here on a screen or step number 2, you have the ability to search for updates and install those updates while we install Enterprise Manager 13.5. For that, you will have to log in with your My Oracle support credentials. I'm going to skip that step for now. And the next step is to run the prerequisite checks. That is going to take a minute. For me, all of them succeeded. Basically, what it does is it's going to check that everything that we highlight in the Oracle documentation, like all the hardware requirements, all the packages and software requirements are met. Also, the accounts were created, the groups were created, we have the right permissions in order to continue with the installation of Oracle Enterprise Manager. If for whatever reason some of the checks fail, there's going to be a legend stating or a message with the failed command or what needs to be done. You will have to fix that, and you can click rerun until you get all of them succeeded. For installation details, so I'm going to provide my middleware home location. This is a directory where I'm going to install all the middleware software for Enterprise Manager. Also, I'm going to provide the agent base directory, which is basically the path or the directory that is going to host the software for the Oracle Management Agent. Remember when we were showing the architecture of Enterprise Manager, we have the OMS running on top of an Oracle database, and also we have the agent that also monitors targets. This is my host name. And for the purposes of this demo, I already have an Oracle database up and running. That is an empty Oracle database that is going to serve as my Oracle repository. As a recommendation here, it's that, and this is for Enterprise Manager 13.5, try to install a 19C database. Remember, 19C is our long-term release. So go ahead and install Oracle, the Oracle Database 19C in order to host the Oracle Management Repository for Enterprise Manager. Here on this step, you need to provide a password. This is a password for Sysmin, for the OMS registration, the Node Manager, MDS administration, and so. Remember, we use a simple install, so we're using only one password for all those accounts. This is where I provide the database connection details. So I have my host name, as you can see, is the same one. I'm running an evaluation of that. So running the OMS and the Oracle database on the same server is not recommended for high availability purposes. But again, this is an evaluation installation. My port, the SID or the service name of the Oracle database that is going to host this installation, and the sys password. It's going to check some prereqs, and if everything succeeds, you're going to find that over here in this screen. If there is any failure, you can click on that, find the recommendation, fix it. There are several options. Some of them can even be auto-fixed by the install wizard. Some of them may not. So depending on which prereq fail, you will have to execute some actions. There's some information about the character set. Let me click OK. And now it's time to configure our software library. Remember, the software library is the one that is going to host agent software that we want to install later on. Gold images for agents, gold images for provisioning Oracle databases, for patching databases, and so. So this is a really important step. Configure the Oracle software library. Then we run into the review process. So we're going to review our inputs. If everything works fine, we can continue and click install. One thing that I want to show here, I'm going to pause here and show that, is the ports needed for Oracle Enterprise Manager. There are some ports that we're going to be need to have free and open in this machine, because they're going to be used by Enterprise Manager. So we have the HTTP port, HTTPS port, the managed server HTTP port, and so. So you see how many ports are needed for Enterprise Manager. Make sure that all these ports are free and open on this box. If you have additional questions, there is a specific section in the Oracle documentation for Enterprise Manager related to ports. And now it's time for me to click install. It's gonna prepare for install, it's gonna copy files, configure, and then we will have to execute some root scripts. I'm gonna pause the video here and I'll come back when these steps finalizes. All right, so our wizard just completed, and now it's time for us to execute the root scripts. Let me open a new terminal tab. This over here. Execute that. All right. Okay. And our installation just completed. This is, let me just try to expand this a little bit. These are the ports where our Oracle Enterprise Manager installation was done. So in order to access EM Enterprise Manager console, we need to use this HTTPS URL. This is a port 7804/EM. This is the admin server console, and information about installing additional OMSs. This is what we need to provide for that. Let me open a window. Move this window over here. HTTPS. The port is 7804/EM. All right. Username and password that we provided during the installation. Here's the license agreement where it goes through the Oracle environment, the use of the EMCLI interface, the console, the management packs, and so you will have to accept that. And here we go. We have our Oracle Enterprise Manager and installation up and running. Let me close this. Maximize this. Of course, we don't have any database targets yet. We will have to um, deploy agents, discover databases, and so right now the only targets that I have, it's the agent installation, the OMS, and the services coming from the Enterprise Manager installation, like the console service, the jobs, beacons, and so. Thank you for watching this first video of the Oracle Enterprise Manager series about installing Oracle Enterprise Manager. The rest of the series will cover how to patch Enterprise Manager, upgrade Enterprise Manager, how to deploy agents, use the Agent Gold image, how you can manage your targets, alerts, and so. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.